There is a demon living inside you, not the cartoonish red creature with horns. Something far worse. Something human. Something familiar. It's the anger you keep feeding. The rage that tightens your jaw when someone disrespects you. The heat in your chest when things don't go your way. The fire that explodes at the wrong moment, destroys relationships, ruins judgment, and makes you weak. And every time you justify it, every time you say, "This is just who I am," you feed it more. But what if I told you there was a way to kill it? Not suppress it, not deny it, but bury it completely. To walk through chaos with calm eyes while everyone else is screaming. Miyamoto Musashi, arguably the most dangerous man to ever walk. Japan did exactly that. He fought over 60 life-or-death duels and never lost. Not because he was the fastest, not because he was the strongest, but because he was emotionless in battle. This is how one warrior killed anger and became a legend. And now you'll learn his way. Because the question isn't whether you feel anger. The real question is this: will you control it, or will it control you? Chapter 1. The Awakening a Warrior, consumed by Rage. Japan. 1645. Ryo knelt in the dojo, fists clenched, jaw locked, his entire body trembling. He had lost again. Third time this week. And every time, the same enemy defeated him. Anger. The moment his opponent landed the first strike, Ryo saw red. His technique vanished. His strategy collapsed. He swung wildly, trying to hurt, trying to punish, trying to make them pay for daring to hit him. And every time, he lost. 20-2 years old. Trained since the age of 8. Technically skilled. Physically capable, but completely ruled by the demon inside him. His master, Taida Sensei, stood over him in silence, watching with eyes that missed nothing. Stand up. Ryo rose, still shaking with rage. You just lost to someone half your skill level, the master said calmly. Why? He got lucky, Ryo snapped. Lie. Try again. Ryo's fists tightened. His jaw ached from grinding his teeth. He caught me off guard. Another lie. Taida Sensei's voice hardened. The truth. Ryo, or leave my dojo. Something in that tone cut through the fog of rage. Ryo forced a breath. Forced honesty. I got angry. Yes, the master replied. And anger made you what? Ryo hesitated, then answered quietly. Weak. Correct. Taida Sensei stepped closer. Anger is not strength. It is a chain. A leash. A predictable reflex that makes men easy to kill. He turned and pointed to the kanji written on the wall. Fudoshin, the immovable mind. This is what you lack, he said. And this is what the greatest warriors mastered. Until you master it, he continued, you will keep losing. Not just duels everything. Ryo had heard of Fudoshin before. The idea that a warrior remains calm no matter the provocation, unmoved by chaos, untouched by insult. But he had never understood how. How do you just stop being angry? Ryo asked. When someone disrespects you, when they attack you, I don't know how not to get angry. The words tasted like defeat. Taida Sensei smiled slightly, the first time in months. Good, he said. Admitting you don't know is the beginning. Come, he added. I'll show you what killed anger in the greatest warrior who ever lived. Chapter 2. The principal anger is a puppet string. They sat facing each other in a small meditation room. Let me tell you about Miyamoto Musashi, the master began. You've heard the stories. 60 duels. Never defeated. People think he won because he was faster, stronger, more skilled. Wrong. He won because he was emotionless in battle, while his opponents raged, panicked, or froze with fear. Musashi remained calm, cold, calculating. Inevitable. Ryo leaned forward. How did he do it? by understanding what anger really is. Taida Sensei continued. Marcus Aurelius, a warrior emperor far from Japan, said something Musashi would have agreed with. When you are disturbed by external things, it is not they that trouble you, but your judgment of them. Think about that, he said. If someone can make you angry, they can make you do anything. You're not in control. You're a puppet. And your strings are your emotions. The truth hit Rio hard. Every insult, every perceived slight, every moment he lost control, predictable, manipulable. Musashi cut those strings. He trained himself to become immune to provocation. The master explained. No insult moved him. No chaos shook him. But how? Rio asked. How do you not feel anger? You don't stop feeling it, Taida Sensei replied. You stop being controlled by it. There is a difference. He paced slowly. Real strength isn't how hard you hit, he said. It's how impossible you are to provoke. A man with no emotional triggers cannot be manipulated, threatened, or broken. That is real power. He stopped and looked at Rio, not just at him, but through him. This path, he said quietly, learning to kill anger. It is not just yours. Across history, warriors have faced the same demon, and they all learned the same truth. Killing anger is the first step to becoming truly. Week 1. Voluntary hardship. You will sleep outside for 7 nights, Taida Sensei said. No blanket. Eat only rice. Train twice as long. Rio suffered. Cold nights. Endless fatigue. A mind screaming to quit. But on the 3rd night, something changed. He realized most of his anger was just entitlement, wearing a mask. By choosing discomfort. He was killing it at the root. Week 2. No reaction training students were brought in to provoke him. Insults, mockery, disrespect. Do not react, the master ordered. Do not defend. Do not explain. Observe. At first, Rio lasted seconds, but slowly. Something profound happened. When he stopped reacting, the power shifted. The provoker lost control. Silence became strength. And for the first time, the demon began to starve. By day 7, Rio could stand completely still while other students insulted Hishinauer, his skill, even his family, and he felt nothing. Not because he didn't hear the words, but because he chose not to be moved by them. The insults passed through him like wind through empty space. Week 3. Death meditation every morning. Taida Sensei instructed. You will meditate on your own death. Visualize it. Accept it. Make death your companion. Why? Rio asked. Because a man who is not afraid to die cannot be shaken by anything less. Musashi wrote, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. When death becomes your companion, Taida Sensei continued, Anger fades. What is a rude comment compared to the void? What is an insult compared to death itself? Ryo practiced this at dawn every day. At first, it was terrifying. Imagining his own body lifeless, his breath gone, his existence finished. But after 2 weeks, something changed. Death stopped feeling frightening. It became neutral, inevitable, natural. And suddenly, everything else, the insults, the disrespect, the provocations felt ridiculously small. Why get angry over temporary things when death is certain? By the end of the 3rd week, Taida-sensei tested Ryo again, the same opponent who had defeated him a month earlier. This time, when the opponent landed the first strike, Ryo felt the old anger try to rise, but instead of obeying it, he observed it. Like a cloud passing across the sky, his technique stayed clean. His strategy remained intact. He moved like water calm, fluid, unavoidable. He won under 2 minutes. After the match, Taida-sensei approached. You felt the anger? Yes, but you didn't obey it. No. That, the master said, is the difference. You don't eliminate anger. You stop letting it control you. Well done. Ryo, you've taken your first step toward Fudoshin. Chapter 4. Warrior Psychology, the Science of the Blade. That evening, Taida-sensei gathered all the students. Ryo sat at the front, still processing his transformation. Tonight, the master began, I will explain the psychology of the blade, why anger makes you weak, and why emotional control makes you deadly. The neuroscience of anger. Your brain has 2 primary systems, he said. The amygdala, the ancient part that produces anger, fear, and rage, and the prefrontal cortex, the newer part, responsible for strategy, awareness, and conscious control. When you get angry, the amygdala hijacks your brain. Blood flow shifts away from the prefrontal cortex. You literally become less intelligent. Your strategy collapses. Your technique degrades. You become predictable. This is why Musashi won. While his opponent's amygdalas were screaming, his prefrontal cortex stayed in control. He saw openings they couldn't see, made decisions they couldn't make, all because he trained his mind to override primitive rage. The Stoic foundation. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Taida-sensei continued. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Anger is always a choice. Someone insults you, that's the event. You're getting angry, that's your decision. Marcus Aurelius, commanding armies, wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is Fudoshin, not controlling the world, controlling yourself within it. The way of Musashi. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi wrote, do nothing which is of no use. Anger, if not used deliberately, is almost always useless. You think it helps you win arguments. It only reveals weakness. You think it helps in conflict, but your enemies smile because they know they already control you. The mind is like a blade, Taida-sensei said. When it rusts with emotion, it dulls. When it stays still, sharp, silent, it cuts through anything. The kill ego practice at its core, the master continued. Voice intensifying. Anger is ego wearing a mask. You don't get angry because the world is cruel. You get angry because your self-image feels threatened. Someone challenges your worth. You feel disrespected, dismissed. But Musashi understood the truth. Ego is weakness disguised as importance. The more you feed it, the more fragile you become. Musashi's solution? Kill it, burn it, starve it, leave its bones behind. He didn't care about praise, didn't cling to reputation, didn't seek validation. Because the more you crave recognition, the easier you are to control. A man with nothing to prove is a man no one can provoke. Kill the ego and anger dies with it. Ryo listened, absorbing every word. This wasn't just training. It was a complete philosophy of inner mastery. Chapter 5. The First. Transformation, the duel without rage. 3 months into training, a wandering ronin arrived. His name was Katsu, known for 2 things exceptional: skill and a vicious temper. He challenged the dojo publicly, as tradition demanded. Taida Sensei selected his strongest student. He chose Ryo. Ryo felt the old instincts stir fear, anxiety, the urge to prove himself. But he remembered his training. He breathed, centered, found stillness. The next morning, students and villagers gathered. KTSU arrived with theatrical arrogance, spinning his katana. "Is this the best you have?" he mocked. "A boy?" The old Ryo would have exploded. The new Ryo simply observed. They bowed. KSU attacked first, aggressive, fast, overwhelming. Ryo moved like water, redirecting, never where Katsu expected. Frustration crept into Katsu's strikes. "Fight me, coward!" he shouted. Ryo remained silent. After 2 minutes it happened. Angry at Ryo's calm, Katsu overcommitted. Half a second of exposure. Ryo's bakken touched Katsu's throat. Light, controlled, final. The crowd fell silent, then erupted. Katsu stood stunned. He hadn't been beaten by superior technique. He'd been defeated by emotional control. "3 hours, 6:30 a.m., walking. Meditation, 7 a.m., silent. Breakfast, 8 a.m., physicaliber. 4 hours. Another monk would criticize Ryo's work after hours of effort, and frustration would rise inside him. But slowly over weeks, his response began to change. Instead of reacting, he started observing the provocations as if he were watching someone else's life unfold, detached, curious, no longer personally invested. By the third month, the monks could no longer provoke him. They tried everything: insults, mockery, accidental mistakes, harsh criticism. Nothing worked. Ryo remained like stone, not cold, not robotic, but genuinely unmoved. The death konon evening. Master Hakuin gave Ryo a Zen paradox designed to shatter logical thinking. If you are already dead, the master asked, what can anger you? Ryo sat with this question for days. He meditated on it, let it dissolve his usual patterns of thought. And slowly, understanding emerged. If you truly accept death not intellectually, but in your bones, then everything else becomes small. Insults, disrespect, provocations, what are they compared to death? Musashi understood this. He meditated on death every single day, not morbidly, but to make everything else appropriately small. During one meditation, Ryo felt something arise, not from his own thoughts, but from somewhere deeper, something that felt as if it spoke across time itself. You who walk this path of killing anger, of cultivating the immovable mind, you do not walk alone. In meditation. Haven't you felt it? That connection to warriors across centuries, all seeking the same stillness, the same mastery. The thought flowed through him, not as imagination, but as inherited wisdom. This training is not locked in ancient temples. It lives wherever warriors choose to practice it. Even now, in your time, others are discovering what you've discovered: the demon of anger, the discipline of Fudoshin, the path to killing it. And they will need guidance. They will need community. They will need practices refined across centuries. That is what presence and purpose provide. Every week, ancient warrior psychology meets modern life. Every week, the dojo of the immovable mind opens. Ryo felt a pull not to abandon his current training, but to understand it as part of something larger. Something ongoing. Subscribe to the training, not as entertainment, but as discipline. Walk with warriors you may never meet, but who fight the same internal battle. Let the teaching continue through you as it continued through Musashi, through your master, through every warrior who chose stillness over rage. The insight passed like a cloud. Ryo opened his eyes, more committed than ever, not just to his own transformation, but to joining an eternal lineage of warriors who understood that true strength is internal. Master Hakuin sat across from him, as if he had witnessed the entire inner journey. You've touched something ancient, he said simply. Good, now return to practice, because understanding is only the beginning. Living it is the work of a lifetime. Chapter 7. The final confrontation when everything falls. A Partrio returned from the mountain after 3 months, transformed, calm, centered. He felt like a different man. Then life tested everything he had learned. 1 week after returning, word came. His younger brother, Kenji, had been killed, murdered by a group of bandits in a dispute over nothing. A drunken argument that escalated. The messenger spoke quietly, but every word burned. Kenji had been unarmed. They beat him to death, left his body in the street. Something erupted inside Ryo. Pure, volcanic rage. His hands shook. His vision narrowed. The demon he believed he had killed roared back to life. Without hesitation, Ryo went to Taida Sensei. Master, he said, voice trembling, I need to kill them. All of them. Taida Sensei looked at him with those eyes that saw everything. No, he said calmly. You don't. They murdered my brother. Yes, the master replied. And if you go now filled with rage, You will either die or become exactly what you hate. The demon will win. Everything you've learned will be meaningless, so I do nothing? Ryo snapped, desperation leaking through his voice. I didn't say that, Taida-sensei replied. I said, don't go now. Not like this. He stood and walked to the kanji on the wall. Fudoshin. This, he said, is your real test, Ryo. Not anger in duels. Not anger from insults, but anger born from real tragedy, from genuine loss, from justified rage. If you can find stillness even now, even with your brother dead, you will have mastered what Musashi mastered. Not the absence of emotion, but the choice to not be controlled by it. Ryo wanted to scream, not to punch, to destroy something. Every meditation, every breath, every moment of stillness felt meaningless against this pain. How? He finally asked, voice breaking. How do I stay calm when everything inside me wants violence? Taida-sensei met his gaze. You don't stay calm, he said quietly.